What's up? We got Supergirl Season 3, Episode 3, Far From the Tree. So this episode starts off with Kara and Alex starting talking about Maggie and Alex's wedding shower. And yeah, I don't know why. I guess people have those. I've heard of them and I've seen them on television, but wedding showers. You should totally only have showers inside a bathtub. Not inside an actual shower, not have a wedding shower. But anyway, Jean decides to show up. And he's like, hey, and he's like, so he's like, hey, Alex, hey, Kara, what's up? And they're like, yo, John, what's up? And he's like, hey, he's going to be gone. He's going to be gone for a few days. He needs some takeover CEO. And she's like, why? He's like, I'm going back tomorrow. That would be a perfect intro, like for the intro sequence. He's like, I'm going back tomorrow, and an intro sequence. But now they basically explain that. It's like, hey, John, those. And he's like, hey, I got a call from Magan, I got a call from Magan, and she's basically, and Magan was basically like, come to Mars. So he's like, hey, Kara's going with you. And he's like, I can't interrupt your baby shower, your wedding shower. And she's like, if I had a chance to go in space for you, I would. So yeah, so Kara, so Kara and John go up to space. Well, they go up to space. So they go up to Mars where they meet Jean. Where Jean meets Magan for the first time. She meets Jodie from Make It Pop, and she meets this other white Martian. Yeah, Jodie from Make It Pop, the Nickelodeon show, is in this episode, and I'm like, that's Make It Pop girl. It's like, yeah, it's Jodie from Make It Pop. She's in this show for this only appearance. She's like, hey, Jean, Magan has told me a bunch about you. And he's like, hey, we're looking for the staff. Yes, because everyone looks for staffs in this show. Is that they're looking for the staff that will, if the bad white Martians get it, they'll basically be able to wipe out all the green Martian race. Magan hasn't been gone for like a long time. And she immediately now decides. So then we get back to the semi-interesting stuff with there's something I tolerate in this show, but when you have a cool adventure like this, then to stuff this episode with Maggie and Alex drama is just like, or more like Maggie and her dad drama. It's just like, okay, basically, Maggie tells Liza a story about her dad, about how she came out to her friend, but her friend told her parents, and she ended up being shipped away. And her dad, and she was like, hey, Dad, what's going on? And she's like, her dad was basically like, Maggie shamed him by being gay, and he's like, and she basically got to ship off to live with her grandma for a few years. And Elias was like, Maggie, your dad should be ashamed of himself. So she's like, hey, why don't you invite your dad to the bridal shower? And she's like, wedding shower. And she's like, nah, I don't want to do that. You told me to reveal my past to your mom, and now you want to bring my dad to her bridal shower? What is to our wedding shower? She's like, bridal, I'm sorry, wedding shower. And she's like, what's up with you, Alex? And she's like, nothing. I just think it would be a good opportunity for you and your dad to reconnect after all these years. So speaking of dads reconnecting with their kids, Jean basically discovers that his dad's not dead because every season he has to discover that he's not the last son of, not the last Green Martian of Mars. This is basically becoming a running joke now. Is that every season, starting from season 2, Jean's like, ooh, in season 1 he's like, I'm the last person on Mars. But then in season 2 he's like, ooh, then McGonagall starts thinking how she's the last daughter of Mars. But then this episode he finds out that he's not, that his father was alive for 2,000 years, being tortured by the White Martians. So he basically decides to confront his dad, and his dad's like, go away, White Martian. I don't buy your tricks. And he's like, hey, it's me, it's Jean. And he's like, I survived. I fled to Earth. And he's like, my son would have never fled. So, yeah. There's that going on. There's 2 dad drama. So Maggie decides to call up her dad to invite him to the bridal shower. So, yeah. So all things are dandy until, so he gives Maggie a picture of her as a child, and but he's all fine and dandy until he sees Alex and Maggie kissing, and once he sees that, he's like, yo, I'm not standing for this, I'm out of here. And then Maggie's like, what the crap, dude? Why would you just leave her bridal shower? And he basically explains about how he had to work hard for what he did, and about how he basically was ashamed. He basically had to work hard for what he did, and then those boys that bullied him, basically, he ended up working for him, and it's just like, dude, you're basically saying, oh, you're basically mad at her because you had to work for what you have, and she hadn't? Is that basically your point? That she had to work for what she had? You had to work to get to where you are, and she doesn't work? So basically, she works, bro. So basically, she's basically like, dude, she basically later goes to him and is like, hey, here's your picture back. That's not her anymore. That's, in that picture is a girl trying to approve the adornment love for her dad, and she's now comfortable in her own body, and she doesn't need him to feel happy. So she's like, bye. Good on you, Maggie. So so back with the whole Kara, Jean, and Jean's dad storyline is that Jean's dad is basically like, again, he's like, no, I don't believe you, Jean. You're just a White Martian in disguise. So he brings him to a place, and he's like, come on, White Martian, really? You bring this to you bring him to his childhood place? So he's basically like, hey, he basically gets back his memory by he basically now knows it's Jean by a memory that Jean had. By a memory that Jean had. So then Amaric is not Amaric, that's the White Martian from last season. One of the Martian guys is like, no, we gotta do this now. But then they basically get into a fight with the good White Martian, with the bad White Martians. And I look at Kara driving up in the spaceship car that they flew in here, and it's like, hey, she's kind of lost. So then they get into a big fight, but they're able to stop the White Martians. Jean's dad, Moran Jones, is able to remember his son, and basically it's like, I'm sorry for not believing it's you the entire time, based on a memory. based on a memory. So, yeah. So they fly down back to Earth, and that's where the episode ends. Let's see. So they fly back to Earth, and then Jean's dad is. So then Jean, she's like, "Hey." So Kara flies off, and then Jean's dad is like, "Ooh, can anyone fly like that? And can every person on this earth fly like that?" And John's like, "No, she's special. She's special." So he's like, "Okay," and that's where the episode ends. So I kind of felt like the Maggie stuff was more interesting because one, it was a good storyline for Maggie that she was able to find her dad and reconnect with him and basically say like, hey, she's fine being who she is. And that is a perfect storyline for Maggie. It's because she basically like, she is fine with who she is. It's just she doesn't need her dad's love to be herself. Her dad kind of came off as a bit of a jerk in the episode. Like, he basically said that he had to work hard for what he did to get where he was. It's just like, bro, times have changed based on where this episode came from, 2017, and where we are actually in 2022. Things have changed since those times. But anyway, that was it for this video, and I'll see you next time for more Supergirl. Boom, boom. Bow, up and away, bow, bow, away.